right, so introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about who you are.
I'm Zachary Overbay. I am the lead writer for The Evil We Know. I also love doing radio. I love writing for film and TV, and occasionally I'll act.
Very cool. Do you happen to have a role in the production outside of writer?
I do. I play the character of Chase. He is your typical high school jock type, popular guy, and he's, to say the least, he's an interesting character to play.
Okay, very cool. What was the biggest challenge you and the writing team encountered, and do you think that you overcame it?
So when writing, you always hit like these walls when you're writing, and those you can overcome easily because eventually someone will have an idea that sparks the next, line of dialogue or whatever. But our biggest challenge was coming up with an ending because we had this great beginning, this great middle, and we were just stuck on, well, how are we going to end this? How are we going to tie this whole thing together in a way that makes sense and serves the story? And I feel like we overcame that hurdle after much discussion. We overcame it, and we have a really good ending that ties this whole thing together, and it's really great.
Very cool. I'm super excited. I know that I am.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm legit after reading through it from start to finish. Oh my god.
Yeah, chills, right?
So who is your favorite character?
I'd have to say Lucifer is my favorite character because he's different from the way that, Lucifer is normally portrayed in these kinds of movies. Of course, he's evil, he's always scheming, he's a deceiver, but the way we wrote him, he has personality. He snaps back every so often, and he has kind of human tendencies, which is kind of nice to see in that character. I kind of have a soft spot for the character of Hannah because, in context of a film, I've been Hannah, feeling left out and in some situations. And I also think she's a funny character. She's got some really good lines that make me laugh, and I hope make the audience laugh too. So.
Very good. Is this your first feature-length project?
Yes, this is my very first feature-length project.
Yeah, how was it going into it? What did you feel going into it?
Initially going into it, it was intimidating because the only scripts I've worked with were short films or like a 20 to 30 page film, which would be considered a short film, I think. But it was just thinking, oh man, so I've got to go from like writing 25 to 30 pages to about 110 or more. And once I got into the groove of going to writers' meetings, coming up with ideas, and actually writing the words down on the script, it became easier in a way because you're not limited to, X amount of pages. Like a short number like 20 to 30. But it was a lot easier because you have more ideas, you have more room to play with, and you have more to write. So I thought it was a little easier once I got into it, and I just had a great time with the process. I'm having a lot of fun.
Very cool. Would you ever do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again because, I just love telling the story and trying to figure out, it's like, I have this idea to tell a story. How can I get it in a format of a film that makes sense and is good?
Right. What was your favorite part of the process in writing? Was it creating the characters, creating the world, creating the map that would connect them all together? What do you think your favorite part was?
I love doing all of it, but I would have to say that my favorite part was probably coming up with the characters, because for most of our characters, we had like people in mind for who was going to play them. The only thing that we had to do really was to kind of plug in personalities, plug in what they thought, and kind of just think about how these characters would react in certain situations. How would Lydia deal with, graduating high school? How would Oliver deal with, I don't know, going to a party when he's not used to going to a party? And you put them in these situations and you try to figure out how they would react, and you even raise the stakes even higher, and that's when it really gets interesting, because it's like, okay, you see how they react in normal situations. Now the stakes are the highest they've ever been. How do they handle it? And I thought that was really fun, just trying to come up with these characters and bring them to life.
How many references do you think are in this?
Too many to count.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the great thing about this writing team was that everybody has something that they like or that they draw from to add to the story. I know for me, when I was writing the party scene, the only thing that I could really think about was Superbad and the party scene that happened in Superbad, like the one toward the end, because I know Superbad, there's lots of parties. But that one last party scene in the movie, I was kind of drawing from that, like it was this big high school graduation party. And I know the other writers, they have their own inspirations. I know one of our big inspirations was Stranger Things. We have references to classic movies like The Princess Bride, and I think we even sneak a Star Wars reference in there.
Yeah, there's Star Wars, there's a Halloween reference as well.
One of my favorites, yeah. But yeah, we just all have these things that we love and we wanted to kind of pay homage to with this movie, and like we're just taking all these things and throwing them into this big pot to make this like soup that's the evil we know. So.
I love it. So what is the theme? What's the main point or question that the film poses to the audience?
That everyone has to face their own problems. I want to say just about every moment in the movie, one character or another is facing an issue. Lydia is facing an issue of this transition in her life. She's graduating high school and she's about to go to college, and she's also facing a lot of other personal issues in life. Samantha is facing the issue that she made a deal with the devil and she's facing the consequences of that. And Lucifer is facing issues of, dealing with Samantha and, dealing with the deal in his own way. And Oliver and Hannah also face their own personal problems. So in a way, everyone is facing something. And just like in life, everybody's got to face their own issues, whether it's like in front of them or something coming up.
Very cool. One last question. You made a deal with the devil. You sold your soul. What'd you sell it for? What did you trade the devil?
That's a great question. Traded my soul probably to go on tour with Dave Grohl.
Okay.
I love the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl is my favorite musician probably ever, and I think he's a cool dude. Just tour with Dave Grohl forever.
Very cool.
There we go.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.